time, and I know that you're preparing a very wonderful meal for your family. And so I have prepared some dishes here. I know that you know how to boil string beans, but have you ever thought about adding tomatoes to it? Doesn't this look beautiful? Your family certainly will enjoy looking at that before they eat it. And these string beans here, I've added peppers to make them colorful. You can call it calico string beans or whatever. And this is cauliflower. Have you thought about adding peas and peppers to your cauliflower? Isn't this a wonderful, colorful dish? I know that your family will enjoy eating it. And here are the beets. And I always like to add something new and different to my meal. And these are stuffed grape leaves with rice. And I know your family will like them. And so here's the cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce always go with the turkey. And I've made some wild rice dressing. And I use apples in it. Different, and you might enjoy it. These are croissants. There's so many things that you can do to them. You can use a butter garlic spread on them. But you can find out how to do that yourself. And this I made Western broccoli and cauliflower. I added corn with peppers in this. And this one is roasted Brussels sprouts. You know, when I see them in the store, I always wonder why they look so, but mine came out the same way. So I added some colored peppers to it. And these are sweet potatoes with nuts, pecans. And this is a salad. I tried to make it colorful with radishes, tomatoes, and radicchio, cucumbers, tomatoes. You know, you can show your artistic abilities with your salad. There's so many ways to make them beautiful. Make a circle, make a rainbow. And one thing I like to tell you that when you're making a tall salad, if you layer it, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever, then you will have to toast it, because toasting sometimes your greens are not dry and it doesn't come out too good. And another secret that I have is I add onion and garlic powder and a seasoned salt to my salad so it won't taste fresh. And this is brown rice. I tried to decorate it. Can you see it? And if you like zucchini, tomatoes, and yellow squash, this is this dish for you. Isn't that colorful and beautiful? And, okay, you know how to make a pie, you know how to make a cake, and all of that stuff. So, but I tried to do something different. I use tofu for my dressing, and like I said before, if you don't drain it, all the water will come out and make your dressing or your pudding run. So these are banana dessert sandwiches. What you do is you get the pound cake, pudding, you cook the bananas with butter or margarine and brown sugar, and then you spread the pudding on the bread, just like you would do for mayonnaise, and then you put the bananas on, and then I put some Cool Whip and a cherry. I love cherries. They make everything, your desserts look so festive. And this is a truffle. To make this, I use cake crumbs, pudding. I made this one with strawberries and Cool Whip. And of course, when I make gravy for my Thanksgiving, I always make cranberry gravy. And what you do is you make the gravy, you stir a little cranberry in it, and that makes the gravy different. So So I think I've shown you everything that I fixed. Oh, there's sweet potatoes here with nuts and caramel on it. So when you fix your meal, I hope that I've given you some ideas that you can use to make your meal beautiful. Thank you. A beautifully set table is not just for the privilege and the lifestyle of the rich and the famous. It's for us. Every day, every meal, we use a plate, a fork, a spoon, a knife, bowl, a glass, and a cup. So there's no reason why we cannot set our table properly and as stylish as anyone else's if we use nicely and properly the things that we have. And a lot of times they don't have to match. You know, the food that we eat, that we serve in our place is the same as the rich and the famous. We eat vegetables, they eat vegetables. You know, the only difference in our food and theirs is that they give it a fancy name. So, and another thing about their meals is served more attractively and colorfully than most of the times we serve our meals. But our food can be attractive too. Our tables can be beautifully set. You too can do the same, and in a few minutes I'll show you how to set the table. Our children will grow up appreciating fine dining if we teach them now. They should learn how to set the table properly. They should learn table manners, how to eat, how to drink, what to do with their napkins and all of that. If they learn this, it'll go with them for a lifetime. You know, you don't have to just be royal, set your table really nice on a holiday. You can be royal and set your table nicely every day. A table that is attractively set makes the meal more enjoyable. And so I'm going to show you how to set an attractive table. We're using a service plate. And we're using a placemat. So I'll set the dinner plate on this service plate, and it seems as if we're going to have soup today. So I'll put that there, and we don't have any wine, so we're just using one glass, and maybe some Poston. So the glass goes here, and the cup goes right in front of it. So when we set down the utensils. First of all, I would like to tell you that the dinnerware consists of the plate, the saucer, and the bowls. The glassware consists of the drinking, the water glass, the wine glass, and the flatware is knife, fork, spoons. And the service pieces are bowls, platters, and those things that we're not going to put on the table at this present time. So I have set up the service plate, the plate, and the soup bowl. So in placing the knife and the spoons go to the right of the plate. The blade of the knife is facing the plates. The forks go to the left. Also, the napkin goes to the left. The open edge is always facing down. If we're going to have a bread and butter plate, it goes right over the forks. So that is the way that you really set a casual table setting. Now let me tell you this. Your silverware is set from the outside in depending on what you're going to use first. So when you look at this table setting, you see a salad fork, which will be served before the entree. And then you see a soup spoon that's on the outside, so it's going to be used first. So now, how do you know whether to eat the soup first or the salad first? Well, that depends on how it's served. If they serve the soup before the salad, then you use the soup spoon. If they serve the salad before the soup, then you use the soup spoon. And the bread and butter plate is right here. Do you know how to eat bread? You don't take a bite. You break off a piece and you take your knife and butter it. And if you are not going to have coffee if they're serving it with the meal, but usually coffee is served with the dessert, and if it's real fancy, it's served in the living room. So the napkin is always placed to the left with the open side at the bottom. Now, when you get ready to eat, the napkin you take and you put it on your lap. If you leave the table, then you put your napkin in the chair. When you finish eating, you put your knife and fork at a 4 o'clock angle. And you never put your greasy or used utensils on the tablecloth. If you were eating soup, you would leave the spoon at the edge of the plate. And what else should I tell you? You know, okay, I think that I set the table properly. The knife, the blade is turned toward the plate. The spoon is there. The soup spoon is on the outside. It depends on how you're going to eat your food. If you're going to have the entree first and the salad second, then the fork is placed on the outside and the salad fork is placed on the inside. So this is simple, but we need some decorations on this table to really make it pretty. And so Mrs. Russell will decorate the table for you.
Hi, my name is Thelma. Frankie showed you how to set the table, so I came along and showed you how to decorate the table in order to really feel special when you are eating. Okay, now what I used to decorate the table was I used a lime table runner, I used a candelabra, and I used the orange centerpiece. Now, it's only set for one person, so it really doesn't matter if the centerpiece stays there. But when I invite you over to eat dinner with me, then I want to be able to look in your face and talk with you, and you look in my face and talk with me. So I will move the centerpiece and put it here for the time being, or maybe put it on another table out of the way, so that we can be able to look at each other as we talk. And we can see you, I can see you smile, you can see me smile, and I can see that you're enjoying the food. So when I invite you over, I want you to come. I want you to come and feel very welcome. Thank you.
deadly, and it's easy to get and hard to get rid of. Death is usually the end of it. So we must not take chances. So the advice that I've heard is stay home. Traditional Thanksgiving gatherings with family and friends are fun, but they can increase the chances of you getting and spreading COVID-19 on the food. So the safest way to celebrate Thanksgiving this year is to celebrate with the people who live in the house with you. If you plan to spend Thanksgiving with people who don't live with you, who must come into your home, here's some steps to take. The steps are always the same. Wear a mask. Wash your hands often. Stay 6 feet apart. Don't put your hand in your eyes or your nose or your mouth. You might have COVID on them. Keep 6 feet away from people who do not live in your household. That is advice that you give for every situation that you find yourself in with COVID. Wash your hands often with soap and water, and if you don't have soap and water, you can use a hand sanitizer. So if you're going to be the hostess, make your gathering safe by following certain steps and certain guidelines. The first thing that you should do is determine how many people can safely come to your gathering. And after you determine that, whether or not you can put 6 feet between each table will determine how many guests that you can have. Wear a mask and store it safely. Avoid going in and out of the house. Avoid people coming in and out and going in the kitchen where the food is being served. Another thing that you as the hostess can do is to use single serve items like a paper plate, a carry-out, even this plate with a lot of things on it. So if you're using glassware, use bleach and plenty of hot water when you're washing your dishes and let them air dry. One thing I like to tell you, if you're using real silverware, don't use bleach on that silverware. If you have guests in your home, be sure that these people follow the steps that everyone can take to make the day safe for everyone. Have a small gathering outside. If you have a patio, a panai, even you can have an outside gathering in your garage. If it's cluttered, you could hang plastic tablecloths around. But make sure that if it's people that live in the north, it's cold, but they suggest that you open your windows so that fresh air can come in. And if it's chilly, there are outdoor heaters that you can use to warm up your space. And so you tell your guests before they come what you expect and what you want them to do. And clean and infect the places and items that are frequently used by people. And it said limit the number of people that you have in the food area. Have one person serve, dish the food up, and have another person serve the food so that your guests will not have to stand in line. And if you do have a gathering and it's not your family, you should limit the time to 2 hours. Now, if you are coming to a meal to be with your family, it is suggested that before that you get ready to come 2 weeks, that you quarantine yourself. Stay away from a lot of people so that you won't become infected and infect other people. If you're riding on a bus, that's a very dangerous situation because you're in a closed area with people. If you you're driving, then you have to make sure that when you stop for the rest areas or when you stop for that snacks that you wear your mask, you stay your distance, and you wash your hands. That's the safety measure that they give for every situation that you find yourself in. Stay 6 feet apart. No hugging, no kissing, no singing, laughing. When your long lost friends or loved ones, stay safe. Stay 6 feet from them, unless they're people that live in with you. Now, if you're feeling sick, if you have a headache, a fever, a cough, a sore throat, the best thing for you to do is to stay home. If you follow all the guidelines, a mask, 6 feet apart, wash your hands often. Don't hang out before attending to avoid contact with others who may have COVID. Get tested before that you come. If you need something to do, if you want to just prepare a meal, share it with your neighbors, share it with shut-ins. Have a gratitude activity with your guests. But the main thing is to just have your family, the people that live in the household with you, to be your guests and to have your meal with. You know, your cousin might live across town, or your brother, your sister may live 2 or 3 blocks away, but it's not even suggested that you invite them because you don't know who they've seen, where they've been, or all of that stuff. Just have your gathering with your immediate family. You know how they have football and the family get together and all the guests? Well, this time, they don't suggest that you do that because you got to be hugging you in a distance, you're shouting and all of that could be spreading COVID. Another thing is don't drink alcohol as it lowers your inhibitions. When you're drinking, you do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. So when you come, you bring some extra supplies with you. Bring an extra mask. Bring hand sanitizer for yourself. You can host a virtual Thanksgiving with friends and family who do not live with you. You can share the menu, the recipes. You can fix a dinner together and you sit down and eat. They in their house and you in yours. So at home with your family, you can watch TV, play games, watch the, well, they have canceled the Thanksgiving parade, but you can watch sports and a movie. Now when it comes to shopping on Black Friday, the same rules apply. Wear a mask. Stay 6 feet apart. But on Good Friday, Black Friday, it's hard to stay 6 feet apart because everybody is there trying to get the bargains. So one thing that you can do, you can shop online. You can use curbside service. Or you can shop in an open market. And so in having your affair, your dinner outside, you should have the tables apart, have family members who live together at the same table. Now if a person come along, you can have a row of chairs 6 feet apart and they can sit and have their meal. So I'm going to show you some of the things that you could do. First of all, have everything contained, everything that I'm going to use, have it on the table for me. The pops, I suggest that you get the small cans and the small cans of water, have them on the table because people usually don't drink all the water when you have the big ones. And you can serve the meal in a carry-out You can use a paper plate if you want to be fancy. The snacks, you can have them separate. You can even have the desserts. Now, if you have those little plastic carryouts that you get with a little sandwich or something, but these are the best for me. So I have my snacks. I even have my salad in a container, and all of this is on the table for one person, for one family with snacks. They don't have to be digging in stuff. And the council is the less people that handle the food is better. So you can also put a little sanitizer on the table for them. I have the eating utensils wrapped, so all they have to do is grab them. They don't have to handle them. I have single-use salad dressing, mustard, and different things that people need to for their food. You can also provide masks for people. And here are the napkins. So you're going to have to work hard to have a healthy Thanksgiving dinner. You know, I heard Trump's man that handles COVID to say, let your people come, old people, everybody sick, whoever they are, because they won't be here next year. So if they come, you might not be here next year either, because you might bring somebody into your household that have the COVID. The COVID is real. It is deadly. And we must protect ourselves and others. Thank you. Oh, it's something that's food that can be eaten with a fork. Finger foods should be out. And also you have a trash can sitting around so that people can dispose of their own trash. So I did suggest that one person dip the food, another take it out to the guests so that you can avoid having people stand in line. So there are lots of information about how to avoid COVID on the computers. So I would suggest that you look it up. Thank you.